Everybody back in the building. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the sponsors, Creative Juices Music, Snow Goons, Elite Sound International, Blaze 'em Up Radio. Got the fam Jase was on the show tonight. We was having some technical difficulties, but I think I kind of fixed that, hopefully. Hope everybody's having a good weekend and whatnot. Yo, yo.
Yo.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Always some shit, yo.
Yeah. I was wondering what was going on, yo. Yo, Piz, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, bro. I almost bust my ass and all that, John and Justin.
The camera was on the ground at one point. What happened?
Yeah, it was.
Yo, yeah, I was like, he's somersaulting with the camera.
I was trying to catch the phone. I was trying to catch the phone.
Yeah, it's you already know it's gonna be a crazy night when you got Jase over there somersaulting and shit.
Yeah, what up, yo?
Well, what's good, my brothers? It's been a minute. You know what I mean? How y'all been and whatnot?
Yo, what up, man?
All right, good day, mate.
Word, man. Yo, I see y'all been working, man. Especially ID over there, Shanty Gallows, man. You've been all over the place, bro.
Yeah, he's always, man. You know, got a bunch of stuff that came out since the last time we talked. So yeah, I've been staying busy.
Word. We gonna get into that in just a second and whatnot. I was gonna ask y'all though, man, like, how you think things has been going with the music lately? Like with the whole online shit, you know what I'm saying? Everything y'all been dealing with behind the scenes and all that.
It's fucking worse.
It's worse. The only way to describe it, right?
It's horrible.
No, I feel you. There's a lot going on with the social media shit, man. So I can only imagine. You know, I try to stay off this shit as much as possible. There's just too much going on this shit. So I figure I'd ask what's your perception.
We can do the best we can, but
some things slip through, you know what I'm saying? But you do your best to block everything out. But you know, one way or the other.
Word. But, most definitely.
I mean,
y'all doing your thing though, man. Definitely respects to you, Jase, man. I was in that Arsonist Anniversary, man. That shit was lit.
The live shit?
Yeah, that shit was lit, man.
Nah, it was good. It was good to talk to the brothers. I don't really get to kick it with them like that. So yeah, it was cool. And it was cool just to say, you know what I'm saying, my piece, you know, like how I feel about the album, you know what I mean, personally to me or whatever. And it was a great part of my life, you know what I mean? I celebrate it, you know. I celebrate it because it's a part of who I am now, you know what I mean? It was one of those stepping stones or one of those paths, one of those, you know, those dope spots on the journey that, you know, that happened, and it was a great experience. So it was cool to share, you know, the live with those brothers or whatever. Peace to the Arsonists, you know what I'm saying? Love those cats. But yeah, definitely. It was fun. Stoked.
Yeah, I mean, y'all definitely got the footprint of hip hop, man. Like, I don't think anybody could ever say anything different to that. I mean, because at the end of the day, y'all did y'all thing, and y'all still doing y'all thing though. Even as you know what I'm saying, singles, solos, whatever you want to call it, y'all all still holding it down for hip hop in different ways. So yeah, I respect the shit out of it, and I'm glad y'all came together the way you did. So I just had to throw that out there, you know what I mean, for those that missed the anniversary, and for those that didn't get to see the thing. And y'all also just dropped a new action figure and stuff like that, right?
Oh yeah, it was an action figure. I think that was Destroy that handled that or whatever. I haven't actually yeah, I did see it in person when I went over to Swell's house. He showed me his I think there were little imperfections, but I think he redid those so they came out dope now, you know what I'm saying? It's dope. I haven't gotten mine yet, you know what I'm saying? But
I was just gonna
I
ask that shit too. I'm like, yo, where's yours, man?
yeah. Yeah, I'm like, I mean, he hasn't, yeah, on the live, I guess on the live when they were doing the live, I mean, they said, yeah, we got one for each of the arsonists, but you know what I'm saying? Like, since then, I haven't heard it mentioned, you know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure, Destroy got one for every member of the arsonist tucked away, you know what I mean? Because he's like that. So, you know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yo. I seen a little glimpse of it and whatnot.
No,
It
like,
looks
me,
it
what
looks
up,
fresh.
yo?
Yo, ID doing this thing, you know what I'm saying? Like with the new Helix
Yeah.
drop, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you had the Alucard illusions. Like, yo, you got so much merc, man. Like, it's hard to pinpoint what you want to buy off the website because there's just so much shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's at great prices too, though. I'm not fronting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Usually when you look at high quality shit, you would expect like hundreds of dollars being spent. But yo, you guys really got some good bargains for those that don't already got the gear and shit. So just
Yeah,
wanted
we
to
try
put
to
that
put
out there
together
too.
bundles and stuff now, you know? So it's not just having to get a CD, you get like a whole, you open a box and have an experience. And, you know, not everyone even wants CDs anymore. And a lot of people get digital. But that kind of takes away some of the fun from like when you actually got a product and held it in your hand. And it was, you know, kind of adding to the experience. So like with Illusions, we did, you know, a lot of fun stuff with just kind of like, you know, feeding into the kind of trippy vibe of the project and the artwork. And we did blotter art, which is like the sheets that people would dip in for LSD acid, but it was just, you know, it was just the artwork, but like perforated sheets and with tabs. And we did rolling papers and illusion grinders and, you know, some cool stuff like that. So, and like even just some kind of random stuff, like you get the brown bag, you know, corner store brown bag in the box, and you get a Metro card that Alucard drew, you know, hand drew something on. So added some kind of uniqueness and stuff and try to like, you know, we want to make this stuff fun because we're all collectors too in some ways. And it's always, you tap into that and it makes something even more interesting. And when you have that kind of different dynamic, like everything now is like audio visual, like as far as talking about like, you know, on the computer, but to have the audio visual experience just in your house without the digital screen is something cool. So, you know, we try to create that and come up with creative things just to make it fun and, you know, make it interesting and stuff like that. But yeah, we try to throw in, make sure you get bang for your buck too. So if you drop $50 and had to spend, you know, $5, $10 to ship it, you don't want to feel disappointed. So we always throw in extra CDs, extra stickers, and, you know, whatever else we got bonus material laying around, we just throw them in there. You know, if you bought Illusions, you got like 4 extra CDs almost when you got that. So it's, yeah, you know, that's how we like to do it. And, yeah, we try to come up with new things for each project. So, yeah, a lot of different merchandise. Yeah, they used to hate it when we came to some of the stores because we would just come in with tons and tons of shit. It was so much paperwork and shit. But, yeah, man.
More, man.
A lot of merchandise.
Yo, that illusion, that bundle is crazy though, man. The Illusions bundle. That's one of the best bundles I've come across. I ain't even gonna lie, yo. It's
one
dope.
of those things that when you put when you took the picture of all this stuff together, afterwards you looked at the picture online and were like, I want that. You're like, oh, I mean, it's in the boxes over here, but like, damn, it looks good. You know, the way it was presented, you're like, man, I want that myself. You know, yeah, it was a cool bundle. I thought it was dope. A lot of people appreciated some of the things that were thrown in there.
Yeah, nah, the ideas are fucking awesome, man. Like, I love the way you bundle everything. It's not like you just, people throwing money at you, you just giving them whatever. You actually putting a lot of ideas, a lot of thought into what you're giving out. So, you know, anyone can really appreciate that, especially when you got to spend money. You know, times is hard. So at the end of the day, if you spending that money, you want something worth it. You know what I'm saying? That you definitely getting what's worth it. All the extra CDs, plenty of music to listen to, the stickers and everything else you handing out. The gear is fly too. I mean, like I said, I got the shirt still on. You know what I'm saying? Shit is fresh. Like, definitely fresh, man. And also, you had some other you got projects we gonna talk about too. But I also wanted to shout you on the Hostile Rhymes joint you produced. That shit was hot.
Yeah. I did a couple joints for Hostile. I've known Hostile for a long time. That's the homie. He recorded a couple of the joints for a project he did. Not his last one at my studio, but then his recent project. I think he had one or two beats I produced on it also. Yeah, so shout out to Hostile. Fucking no doubt. And
Yeah, that production.
Working on a lot of stuff, man. A lot of people and different things.
Production is fire, man. Like that's all I'm saying. Like every time I try to talk to ones, that's how I mention your productions, bro. Cause like we already know you got the bars and shit. So we ain't even gotta get all into that. But your production though.
I appreciate it, man.
He's crazy, yo.
in my mind, I always define myself as a producer, and like my inner circle and myself would know I had this huge, extensive catalog of beats and a lot of stuff that no one ever heard. But I really, as far as the things that I put out up to like 2020, wasn't like a ton of stuff. There was the Portals album, some ID album card stuff, like some Jase stuff, things here and there. It wasn't a ton of stuff. The project I did with Scavenger, Kelly Finnegan. But it wasn't like a huge catalog of production, but I had tons and tons of stuff I was sitting on. So I just, in the last couple of years, it's been a huge effort to try to define myself more as a producer. And that's kind of what the Shanty Gallows thing has to do with. Kind of, we talked about it before, even just kind of put myself under a new umbrella where you could find that. It's a unique, kind of bugged out name, Shanty Gallows. It's not like I expect my homies to call me it. It's kind of just like a rebranding thing and a new alias to put music out and kind of put a whole series under that. And also a different vibe. I started as ID the Shanty one. And so it's kind of like tapping back into that. My last name is Gallagly, so to play on that and a lot of different things. But the Shanty
Gallows, bro, you've been Shanty Gallows, nigga.
Yeah, and that's a nickname that I'm. There's moments that I've been that person, Shanty guy. So,
definitely. Oh man, I do too, man.
Kind of embracing that sound, that muggy, kind of grimy, crusty, but kind of still got something clean and understandable and comprehensive sound. So it's like almost kind of a reflection of personality, the way the new production style is, and that's going heavy with it, but that's kind of like, one of the ideas. And yeah, man, I'm trying to be consistent, working with a lot of different artists with different unique sounds and kind of tapping into each one. When I work with Jase, the kind of things that I do, it's going to be completely different than when I sit down and work with Halix, or, even though that there's certain things that overlap, it's just different artists with different sounds. And I want to create a landscape. I don't want to just make beats that at random anyone just kind of feeds from. I definitely prefer to be more hands-on and work with the artist, be in the studio, create something on the spot, feeding off that energy. That's a kind of more unique vibe that I'm really inspired to continue to do, and I think that captivates more, that's when you start to develop a real specific sound when people hear it. And like, that's that Alchemist beat, that's that Premier beat, that's that RZA beat, that's that so-and-so beat, So,
yeah.
Try to define your sound, but still have a lot of versatility and,
Yeah, so you want to you're like producing and not just making beats, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like to be in the studio. Above all, I like to be in the studio with the artist.
Yeah.
And I love the on the spot thing, the on the spot value. Like I like to be under pressure. I like for people to be sitting there waiting for a result, and that creates something different. It's a different it's different than working in your studio for 8 hours and coming and going and throwing around ideas. When you got a group of MCs behind you and they're halfway through their verse and ready to get busy, you want to start providing something and make that happen, but you also want to not rush it and do something dope, but it creates a different dynamic. And I like that vibe. I like that on the spot kind of. I feel like that captures, I can be an overthinker and overthink things, and that's like more spontaneous, right in the moment, captures the sound. And I think there's some you have minor flaws in that, but that might be the dope part of the beat even. Or you don't have minor flaws, but just that little, capture the moment kind of stuff. It's a dope way to produce.
You take pride in what you do. You can tell. And honestly, some of your beats, man, I wouldn't, like what you said, you have a signature sound, but at the same time, you kind of don't. And that's what makes it kind of dope, because it's not like, oh, there's another ID beat. It's like, yo, who made that shit? It's like, oh, okay, yo, that's crazy. That's an ill flip. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of producer I admire, too, because, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can always be against the signature sound, but sometimes when it throws you off a little bit, it's like, oh, he's very versatile, you know what I'm saying, in the art. And the fact that what you just said, you love putting your heart into it, that's what makes it dope. But I got to ask you this question, being that you can do both. Do you prefer emceeing or producing?
By far prefer producing. Um, I love emceeing, and I love like moments like yesterday. Me, Jase, and Alucard were in the studio. We just kind of having fun with it, like that.
Oh,
That kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
really like half of that music probably will never even surface. I hope most of it
Mhm.
does, but it's just like it's just us kind of doing us, and it's a lot of fun. And I think that we all every MC stems from a point of doing this when they were younger, and it was a lot of fun, and there was like hunger and like you do it for a long time and some of that diminishes, and then some of the fun,
Mhm.
it stops being so much fun. It becomes tasks, and it becomes something you have to put in your calendar and different things, and that's it's different. So it's a lot of fun when you just kind of go and make music with no expectation, and we just get together with the homies, have a couple beers, make something on
Yeah.
the spot, have fun with it. So that I take nothing away from, but I think as a whole I really like to express myself more like through production. But I love them seeing also, and I think they go hand in hand. Sometimes it's like not the best thing because like I'm trying to get a beat done, but now I'm like reaching for the pad and like it's just But yeah, man, I've tried to been really focused for the production for the last couple of years, but then like recently we got the studio, and it's just how can you not want to get busy and work on different things and approach the mic and so I would say production, but right behind it is MC, and they go hand in hand for me. It's hard for me to. I say to myself all the time, like I'm gonna leave this aside, or I'm gonna just focus on this, and I never can. Even if I make an effort to focus on one more than the other, like the other will always surface no matter what. So it's just yeah, it's a burden.
Let me ask you this question. Do you feel like, cause I like you as a producer and as an artist, but do you feel like, cause you got a lot of dope shit. Now, do you feel like a lot of your lyrics fly over people's heads to the point where it makes it kind of where you feel like you have to dumb it down a little bit sometimes?
Um, it doesn't make me feel like I have to dumb it down, but maybe not every. I think I have different levels of people that listen to my music. I think some people listen to it on the surface, and they're like, "This kind of sounds cool. There's a good energy. I can fuck with it." Some people go a little bit deeper. They kind of tap into some of the lines, like, "Oh, this dude said that. That's kind of interesting, or that's bugged out, or that's weird, or he said this word I haven't heard." That's different. And then I think there's people that really dive in and go in and like dissect it, and they hit me with questions on the messenger and like really go to a different level. So I just think there's kind of multiple levels to the way that people can listen to my music, and there's no right or wrong way. But if some people can like really tap in and hear some of the more intricate things and the double meanings and more thought out things, but not everything is always thought out. Some of it is just streams of consciousness and vibing to the beat and saying fly shit and just kind of rocking with that moment and captivating a time in my life or scenario or creativity or imagination, like so yeah, man.
I feel you. Now I got a similar question for you, Jase, because you were OG in a sense if you want to throw it out there and shit like that. But yo, so like listening to shit back then, but you were with the Arsonist to this point in time, you feel like hip hop has gotten like a little off task a little bit, or do you feel like it could still be kind of revived by what you guys are doing?
I mean, I don't, it's a question that's always asked, but like now that I'm older, now it's just like I get it now. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hip hop had a task or anything of the sort. It's just this element of rap just got commercialized at some point, and it makes a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So when you have something like that happen, you know that's you wouldn't have an underground if that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? You don't have it. This is the age of independence. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's a lot of whack shit out there, but man, there's so much opportunity for people to just take their careers in their own hands and do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? So it has its pluses. You know what I'm saying? And it has its minuses as well. Um, Me as a listener, I've like I've my ears have gone through an evolution. So like, you know what I mean? Like I think I've mentioned this last time. Like, I barely, on my free time, I'm very limited to what I listen to as far as rap music. You know what I'm saying? So I have, you know, being in hip hop, I've been exposed to so much more worldly music. You know what I mean? From like ID said, like producers and stuff like that. So I listen to my playlist is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it goes way beyond rap. And I really, you know, what's happening now, I mean, it's nothing that didn't happen back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Hip hop started out in the slums. But at some point they started making records. It became, you know, it became a money thing, and it's just going through its own evolution, I guess, when you talk about, you know, rap as a business. But as far as MCs, man, I mean, there's still freaking great MCs. That shit, you talking to one right there. I mean, ID is crazy. ID is crazy. And yeah, remember the last show that I, you know, that you did with me? I was talking about how much respect I have for writers. He's a great writer. You know what I'm saying? And he's a great producer for the simple fact that he can build a song around an artist just as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just creating on a whole nother level as far as a producer. Um, but man, that's what we do. We paint pictures, man. If we stopped and concern ourselves with, oh, what's hip hop looking like as a whole, man, there wouldn't be any more artists doing like what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? We keep it moving. We could only handle what we can handle. We can't really sit back and you know and watch what's happening everywhere else as far as like, hey, where's this going? And you know what I'm saying? We're not you know we're not fake activists. You know what I'm saying? We're not stand. That's not what we standing for. We want to make great shit. We
That's a
want
good answer.
we want to make great art. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for, man. And if you personally have something where you're thinking, you're feeling like, oh man, where's hip hop going, man? Then you on the wrong path, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to just create, man. Like, it doesn't matter. Like he said, like it goes way beyond just making rap records. It's a cultural thing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's why it's so hard to explain. You know.
No,
But
I feel it in the veins, man. I know how it goes and stuff. Sometimes I feel like some things need to be put out there in the world where people can like kind of associate with it and get it off the chest. But at the same time, like you said, if you stop to let these things dominate your way of thinking, it does kind of take away from what hip hop is, the culture of it, and how we all make things happen. 'Cause yeah, it is bigger than just lyrics. I mean, the lyrics are the main concept to, obviously reaching to the people. But,
yeah,
you got, like you said, you got a dope writer like ID, man. He's a verbal weapon. For those that actually listen to what he be rapping, it's like, yo,
yeah,
a lot of it, I feel like it could go over some people's heads because it is very, descriptive. And at the same time, it is very intellectual for those that don't have a very vast vocabulary. But at the same time, then you got Jase. You know what I mean? You come with a whole nother picture of it. That's why y'all like Voltron with it. Like that's what I love about how y'all work together. You know what I'm saying? Alucard paints the craziness, like the ill, some ill shit, and then you know what I'm saying. Y'all all got different arms, legs, head. You know what I mean? So it's dope to see y'all working the projects. And Helix, man, she got some shit. Like you know what I'm saying? She got some real ill, deep shit. So that last joint y'all released was amazing. So like,
Hey,
what you have any thoughts on that specific release that y'all just dropped?
yeah, I think it's a great track. The track James Baldwin is it's kind of like a an activism kind of related track, and it's kind of about kind of the current state of the world, and the balance with Helix. Me and Helix describe, and Jase has been a huge part of the process of recording House of Helix. Jase is the person that introduced me to Helix. He's been involved in the studio. He's one of the him and Anomalies are the only two, Anomalies as a group, but then Jase is the only other feature on the album, and has been part of the whole process in the studio with us, overseeing things, listening to everything, giving advice, basically, co-producing the album, having a very strong hand in just kind of like, just seeing through the process and guiding it and kind of hearing the, you know, the feedback along the way and providing feedback and just, you know, so that track, to get back to the track particularly, is just, yeah, I think it's a dope track. The combination that I was saying before is like, you know, Halix has this voice that almost sounds sweet. And then the beats are kind of, she describes as like swampy beats, you know, it's like the real swampy, murky kind of, you know, and then she's got this kind of tone, but then she's saying these really, really impactful things. And it's I think it's a dope track. It's a song that has no cursing on it, has nothing derogatory. That's not the style that Halix does. The whole album doesn't have curses in it. She's very, very specific with the words that she uses. Words mean a lot to her, and she puts a lot of weight on what she writes. And I think when you listen to Halix's stuff, what you're getting off the bat is you're going to get a lot of well-thought substance. You're not going to get, like I was saying, like me writing on the spot or stream of consciousness. You're going to get someone that wrote poetry and developed it over years. And this is like her first album in her entire life. And she's been a recording artist probably her entire life, but has been putting out music, as far as I know, since the mid-90s, if not, you know, before that. So, you know, it's a special project. It's not loose topics. And I think they hit home. I think it's an emotional project where if you listen to it, it's very relatable. Some of the stories might not be your own personal story, but the struggle might be relatable to something that you've dealt with in your life. And that might kind of hit a nerve or kind of strike home in a different way. And I think that's always, I say it again and again every time I kind of talk about music, that I think the power in music is to kind of captivate emotion and transcend and let someone feel a way, you know, or relate and actually get a feeling, get goosebumps, you know, have a physical impact from what they're hearing, you know, and that's really strong. And I think Halix has a really, really good capability to do that. And I think if you're, you know, someone that's a little bit sick of listening kind of to the way that music gets a little bit regurgitated, where something becomes dope and that's awesome, but then you hear it again and again and a subpar version of that, and it gets very repetitive. I don't think a lot of artists are risk takers these days. I think they see what works, they follow a formula, they follow suit, and they go for that. And I don't think that's what music is about. You know, Jase and I have talked about this all the time. You know, music isn't music without taking risks, without breaking boundaries, without pushing things and stuff. And you know, sometimes you do a project and you take a risk, and that risk does not hit. You know, it's not always a rewarding thing, but you don't do the same thing. You don't follow suit. So I think this is going to be a great project for people that might be a little bit sick of hearing a certain thing that's consistent constantly in a certain topic and certain kind of nonsense topics that we've been hearing in hip hop again and again for years and years. And they have their place. But I think people will appreciate this that are looking for a little bit more music, or, you know, different music has different place in your life, right? You could be on the train and want to hear some MOP and Rah Rah and Wild Out. And that's of course. And MOP, that was a hard example because MOP, I think, is always going to have its value. All this MOP at like a wedding, it's going to always rock for you. You know, certain things.
You never know, though.
Right. Couldn't put like MOP in the spectrum of like, no, that doesn't have its place in other, like, that always has its place. But
you get some Puerto Rican rum up in that bitch, and I don't know, we might have a whole nother conversation.
Word. Have their place, and I think Halix will have its place when people just want to vibe out and think and really get a little bit deeper with it. And it's also kind of head nod. She's just a dope MC that's in the pocket and the beats are hitting. So if you're just listening on the surface, I think you could still kind of rock with it as that. So it's bringing a lot to the table, and that's, I like to be involved with music that are doing that, you know, so that provide more options for the listener. So if you're not looking for something heavy and complex, you can just listen to it and rock out and just kind of just vibe to it. But if you're looking for something more, you can really listen and dive into it. And so, yeah, the new single does that. And I think it's a perfect expression of the album, because the whole album consistently follows that theme. You know, the tracks all have some substance. They're all concept songs.
It was definitely deep from my perspective of it. Like, it was definitely a breath of fresh air, because it was like, you know, it was out. You know, at first I was expecting, because of the way the beat was, like, I was expecting some hard hitting punchlines, maybe some metaphors, but in general, it kind of speaks to you, and it's like it was a real in deep kind of track to me. So I definitely was feeling it. I will say this, you were like a conductor though. I'm telling you right now, because the way the beats start is like you conduct the person's emotion to go with the track. So even if it was an MOP style track, you're gonna get people into that position to be that way. I tell you that right now, because a lot of your joints is really heavy. It's really heavy, and then sometimes it's really hype. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I like the mixture. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever come with the same direction. It's always different when I hear your beats and your the tracks overall. So definitely gotta say that. I am looking forward to hearing you rap again though. I want, like I'm saying, I'm keeping that real because like I said, man, Pyramid Builders, you know what I mean? All them joints like are my favorite joints, you know what I mean? So I'm just putting that out there like that. Not trying to gas nobody up, and I'm just saying 'cause those are me and my son some of my favorite tracks and shit. And
Nah,
I'm
thank
telling
you,
you,
man. I
man.
really appreciate that. That means the world. We have a project. It's not in the back burner. It's completely done. This project that me and Alucard and Jase did called Yantra, and it's produced by myself. It's kind of us all in the studio. It's kind of the first our new studio kind of like group project working together, and there's just been so much going on and things have been really scattered that the project is essentially done. It's like 90% done. Like, but we're kind of perfectionists. And
He don't want to give us that 99 though. He said no 99%.
that
Not yet. We
5%
don't
could
want to
be a
get y'all
long
too hyped.
stretch. Yeah, that could be a heavy 5% sometimes. But now we want to get it right, man. We want to put the music out and really make sure it's on point. So we might kind of go back and re-examine some things, kind of touch a couple things up, maybe switch a couple things around, add, replace, maybe. We just need to revisit it. We've been working on so much other things, and other things got a little more attention, and there were so many projects going on at the same time that, you know, right now with putting out Helix, a lot of the attention went to Helix, and right before was Alucard Illusions, and this project was going on simultaneously at the same time. So it's just
that was like right there.
right at the same. So it's just finding the right time and getting it kind of just. It's 95. Got to get those couple last things finished up, and not even finished up, just fine tune and picky shit, and then yeah, we'll get it out. So I would hope this year, but I'm not going to say that for sure. But within the next 4 months, there's definitely going to be a new project surfacing, and we'll definitely continue to announce more about that stuff on the social media and stuff like that. But yeah, there's more stuff to come for sure, man. A lot of production ahead, a lot of engineering, but there's definitely going to be emceeing stuff. There's also like 3 or 4 projects that are unreleased projects that we found that are complete, that I found Pro Tools files to. So a couple things we're going to we're going to release for the first time, even though it's old content, recorded in the Pyramid Builder days and the Stonecutter days and all that stuff. So it's, if people, you know, people that appreciate that music, I think would like a lot of this stuff. We've got a whole project that we'll probably just put out as like a mixtape, maybe even just give it away for free. With the Jasoon dude, Frank, we've done a whole project. And so
Frank!
A whole bunch of stuff.
Well, I mean, like we discussed last time, man, a lot of people just need to appreciate what you do, man. You wear so many hats in what you're doing. So, like, you know, a lot of people don't get that about you. If they don't really know you enough to see what you're doing behind the scenes, man, you doing a lot. Besides the production, besides the distributing, besides the, you know what I mean, you carrying it all. So it's like, it's expected if there's a little delays here and there, but then again, it's all well worth it. Because even if you dig up some hidden gems, I bet you it's well worth it to put it back on the platform or to bring it back to the light, because you guys got so much music. You know what I'm saying? And the Helix joint is dope. What was I gonna say though? But what about you, Jase? Like, you got anything you want to mention? Because I know I don't know for those that are following your other page, but the Tree of Life pics, man, you got some great photography, man. Like, I'm just putting that out there for those that are into photography and into those type of things. Like, I'm not just into just hip hop. So, but yeah. So you got anything else going on you wanted to mention?
Oh yeah, nah.
No doubt. No doubt.
Jason's been recording a lot, though. Don't sleep. He's got.
I'm gonna get into the consulting side of the business.
No doubt. I feel you, man.
Still be creative and have an impact. Nah, man, yo, I'm naturally a lyricist. I'm always gonna spit hotter fire than your boys. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna
Word.
write. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna write. I'm always gonna spit. I mean, I I love working with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's what inspires me to write or record. So I do it with them. You know what I'm saying? As far as a solo project, I mean, I can pick out books and just grab a bunch of stuff and put it out. But like, I'm kind of like, I'm not at that point where I just want to just throw rhymes out there just to throw them out. You know what I'm saying? If I'm inspired, I write. You know what I mean? Like ID said about the Haley shit, like something has to make you like move you in order to be inspired to see, because I can hear a bunch of great shit. You know what I'm saying? I can love a lot of shit, but if that shit don't move you, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I'm at that point where, you know what I'm saying, that I'm not going to invest and commit to that. Um, so yeah, it's basically like we were talking about Helix, for instance. There's a joint that she has, that's gonna be on the album that like when I heard it or when I still hear it, it gives me chills. You know what I'm saying? So like when I'm working with people like that, working with people like ID, or when I hear Alucard spit, because sometimes he'll just randomly spit in the studio, like it's a treat. You know what I'm saying? Because shit
Yeah,
like that,
word.
when you work around people like that, man, your standards have to be high. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm ever going to do a solo Jase record, that shit's gotta be like CJM standard, because I work around some incredible artists. You know what I'm saying? So like, if it's not gonna be to that standard, I'd rather not do it. You know what I mean? So, well,
Word.
basically, yeah,
Yo, shout
that's
out to Alu, man. I seen him
hell
hop in the
yeah, that's
building.
how I knew.
Word. Yeah, my man. Like I said, man, y'all a great unit together, man. Y'all the way y'all work together, the track y'all put together, man, everything is always on point. So I mean, that's the standard. At the end of the day, from what y'all set, y'all raising the bar as a, I wouldn't say group, but like, you know what I mean, as a whatever you want to call, as a unit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all moving together, y'all support each other. That's what hip hop needs, man. Y'all doing y'all thing. You got anything else you want to mention, Shanty, man? Like any other upcoming joints you putting together?
Yeah, just that the Helix project's coming out Halloween. The official album, House of Helix, and like before that I said, and which I could go on and on about, but we're gonna continue to promote it, and there's some singles online. If people want to check it out right now, a great place to go is the Bandcamp. You can
Yeah.
pre-order it, get access to 3 of the songs. If you're not looking to buy anything, it's also on Spotify. You can go and take a listen. So check it out. It's something different, but I think people will appreciate it. It's a dope hip hop track album, but then it could also be perceived as something different, as just its own sound or its own thing, or
Yeah,
something that some people said
it's unique.
yeah, it's different. It's something different. It's not like everything else in a lot of regards, but yeah, I hope other people could be the judge of that and see what they think. It'll be interesting to hear what people say. We've got a really good response off the bat to the singles and just kind of rolling out the pre-orders and yeah, it's going good. And the project, like I said, Yantra, I'm not trying to downplay it. We just got to fine tune it. It's a great album. It's got some really dope joints. It's
Yeah,
all on the
yeah,
spot stuff.
it's really dope.
The process was what we've been talking about. Jase, Alucard, myself will be in the studio, make a beat on the spot. Everyone writes on the spot, records all
Yeah,
together. It's the whole night is a vibe, a party. We're talking, bullshitting, laughing in between. It's a whole vibe. It's in a true sense, and
yeah.
so that album's really cool. It does captivate that.
Nah, yeah, that shit is dope, yo.
Yeah,
And to mention, yo, those are the ones that like made it. There's
yeah,
like mad joints we did that
oh
just
yeah,
like, eh.
yeah.
You
Not
know what I'm
everything makes
saying?
it
But it
past
was still
quality
fun.
control.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we just
Word.
wild out a little bit. But
Word.
You know, when's the Shanty Gallows figurine coming out though? You know what I'm saying?
yo,
2050,
that that'd be
1043.
ill, yo. That'd be really ill, yo.
I want to see
Word,
some
man.
illusion figures, Alucard start making
Yeah,
some
yo,
action
word.
figures.
Yo,
That'd be cool.
Facts.
he needs to design fucking figures, yo.
Do
Yo,
those
he's
digital
Word.
sick, yo.
printouts.
Yo,
Yeah.
he's ill, yo.
Yeah, he's got
Word.
the characters already with his comics and his drawings. It'd be crazy to see some of those actual figures. I think he's on here. Can we bring him on for a quick sec, or
Yo,
If he's still
you
in
there,
here,
is he
Alu?
still in the mix?
let me see
He
if he's
bounced. He's got
still in
better shit
here.
to do. He's
Oh,
like,
word.
I talked to
Alu bounced on
these
us.
bounced.
Yo,
I'm
that
over here,
comic
yo.
book flip
I'm
thing
like, yo,
though, man.
Alu's
Whew.
one an incredible artist.
Hey,
Oh, Paige.
We thought you ghosted us. Like, I talk
There
to
you
these
go.
fools all
I
the
was
time.
watching.
Damn,
Word.
bro.
We want
You
to
just
talk
came in
about
the
the
mood,
art, man.
yo.
Word.
Bro, why
Word.
you shit look so clean cut like you at the office, B?
Oh, I
Just
got a
got back from
haircut.
Supercuts.
He had a photo shoot. He ain't tell y'all though. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know, yo. This guy's like, oh, hey.
I
Joey
got
got
a haircut,
domesticated.
so I fucking, just you can see more of my room.
Yo, what's good, Alu?
Chilling. I'm fucking coming in the late tip. I'm hanging out over here.
Well, we was just discussing your art, man. Like you should make figures, man, for the whole squad, yo. With all the art you got going on and shit.
Yeah, I'm really busy. I'm trying to make some shit so that I can show people, and
Word.
I'm doing everything. So it's gonna take some time, but it's gonna be really cool.
That flip book shit you did. I'm not sure if that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like that, the whole animation shit you did was fucking fire, though. Like with the whole fighting and the anime style
Thank
shit,
you.
that shit was ill. So you
Appreciate it.
definitely want to throw that shit out there, man.
It
Like
took
in the
forever.
yeah.
That shit took like fucking 2 years, periodically going on and off. Stop in motion. I took pictures of my drawings, pretty much. It's like a flip book. Instead of me flipping, it's just the photographs thrown together.
That's crazy. Damn, that takes a lot of patience. I don't know if I can do that shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, yo, look. You see that?
Oh
That's 2
shit.
minutes worth.
Damn.
Dude, man.
This is
Yo,
the
Hey,
that's
y'all like
crazy, yo.
10 reams, yo.
Yo, that shit is wild, man. But I appreciate that because that shit is hot. Yo, the little fucking sound effects in it too. Yo, everything is authentic though, man. I ain't gonna front.
That's
That
me
shit
in the
was mad
bathroom
ill.
with the phone to my face. If you put it really close, you get nice, good, crunchy noises that are distorted, but sounds really cool as like sound effects.
That shit is crazy, man. I would say that y'all should make comic books and just add it in with all y'all projects. I'm pretty sure it would take like a lifetime to put together a whole shitload of comics.
And yo, comics is a whole different. Like I started, people think like you should do comics, and I try to do a comic by myself, and I'm trying to like get into it now because that's my I want to do a book, but it's like I have to learn. You have to draw on 11 by 17 paper. Otherwise, they can't print this shit to like normal size. You'll have like some weird European size or something.
Oh,
you
shit.
understand? So like,
Yeah.
there's these like little tips that if you don't follow them, you won't be included in that world. When it comes down to printing. I didn't know
Yeah,
this.
yo.
There's letters too. You gotta these people gotta be saying things. I can't just draw cool people and like cool faces. They have to have word bubbles. And then I'm like, where do I gotta put the word bubbles without it blocking any of my shit? You gotta get used to that shit, like it's not easy.
You can't just make an audio comic.
No, I was just trying. That would be interesting too. I mean, you can go different ways. I might as well, right? I might as well just film my shit and just talk and fill it in.
Yo, you should have Jase as the commentator. Yo, he could be the Morgan Freeman of the whole series. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be like it just shows a face, but you hear the voice, and then he did that, and it's like slides out of the fucking frame, right? And it's like another asshole shows another picture of a guy. You do it like that.
Word. You know what I'm saying? Like you definitely like draw a little picture of Jay spinning on his head like me and him was talking about. He break dance and you throw the sound effects into this shit. That shit will be pretty lit.
Breakdancing, to draw breakdancing is not easy.
I bet to break
have to
dance in
draw
general ain't easy.
Yo, none of this shit you draw look easy, bro. But I mean, shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that, yeah. But I mean, all in all, that shit, you know, all your artistry is dope, man. And like, yeah, I think, yeah, that shit would be ill though if you could do the comics. And like I said, I know that shit looks hard as fuck though. From what you, the way you explained it makes it look hard as fuck. So I mean,
Yo, it
sound hard
is.
as fuck.
Like, okay, somebody would be like, yo, let me get it. Like, you know, if they're like 20 seconds. 20 seconds of animation is like 200 drawings. You know, if it was 10 frames a second, you know, or like, you know, whatever. You could do it like, and then the frames per second is just how slow the camera shutter is. You know, like if it's more frames, that means you have to shove more shit in there or take shit out. And
Yeah.
It's a learning process. You learn all that shit. You do it wrong, and then you're like, oh, I did too much. And then you do less, and then you're like, oh, it came out good. And that's how you figure. That's how you figure it out. It's a trial and error thing.
Yeah, I bet that shit costs a lot of bread too, man, to get all that paper. Especially if you fuck up, it's like you gotta go right back to Staples.
Yo, actually, this shit is like I get these from my job. It's free. It's the garbage. It's like leftover from a package we use. And I'm like, hey, don't throw that shit out. Save. Now I got all these people saving this shit. I finished a long time ago. Like I don't really need these for now. And people are still giving them to like, yo, we saved another one for you. Like,
Salu, let me ask you a question. You're speaking about your drawings, and I know you put like a lot of work into drawing like 1 billion frames just to make it work. Is there an easier way as an artist to do that? Is there like anything you could do to make that process move faster? Like, is there a software or something you can do?
Yeah.
So like, do you see yourself doing that eventually, or do you just do these on the side while you just fucking focus on a whole bunch of other ill shit you making? You know what I'm saying? Like the little animations.
Yeah, you
Or
take a
do you
break.
do it just for fun?
I have to take a break. Like I'll do something until I get a little bored of it. And when I see myself getting annoyed or I take a break, I jump onto something else, another project, whether it's a music or another drawing project.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make me annoyed to do it. You know, I got a good balance of projects and goals.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to it or something. Like for this, it was easy for me. I try to make it easier in the size. You see how small it is?
Yeah, because it's smaller.
Yeah, if I draw a smaller scale, you can get a lot more done. And you don't have to draw it really nice. If you're skipping frames and people move, this blur, you know?
Yeah.
And the one way to make this easier is to do the iPad. You know, get an iPad, and I can probably, you layer it. You draw one big background, you put that in, and then I show the iPad, you can just layer characters on top of that, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Like half the shit that I'm doing out, but I'm just doing it old school because I wanted to try it old school. You got to learn the fundamentals before you can start getting into the technicalities and make it easier. You have to know the beginning process before you can, you know, learn to, I guess, walk before I learn to run, or learn the old school way so you can have some, you know, how they did it. And that teaches you. You help yourself pretty much, because I'm the only one that has the fucking patience for this shit.
Yeah. I get it. It's a lot. It's almost like shooting photos. Like you know, some people used to be like, "Yo, you got to start with the basic fundamentals." Like, "Oh, you should at least shoot like film for once in your life." You know what I'm saying? Just to know that whole process. So like, it's kind of like that. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of the, you know, some of the best photographers, you know, have shot film and know all those fundamentals or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're combining
I get
film with art. You're actually becoming a director. Now you're shooting. You're shooting shit and you're making scenes.
Yeah.
I'm shooting scenes that I'm sticking in later.
Yeah.
I shot the ending already. And
that was also the style you always loved too. you love the old school style, like the black and
Yeah.
whites. You used to get those DVDs of people's animations that did
Yeah, that's
hard task of actually drawing it, and so
Yeah.
like you kind of appreciated that. You always just kind of had a love for it. So I think you chose to do it the hard way, like because you wanted to have that.
Yeah.
And it's its own unique thing. It's a dying art kind of.
Nobody does shit like that no more.
Yeah.
Only
And then
some old guys. You know?
Yeah. Nobody does that if you don't keep like you don't hold that.
Digital animation where it's like flash animation where like the guy's like pasted over and like he's like they're like moving around, but it's like one dimensional looking shit, or it's like a lot of slide shit. You know, they're like moving like.
Yeah.
You know, it's not too much movement. You know what I mean? I like a lot of movement.
It's crazy that you did that right now.
Like, you know what I mean?
Shit's crazy. I was gonna ask if anybody got any question for y'all. You know what I mean? Throw them in the chat room too while we discussing stuff. You know what I mean? Any of the projects y'all want to talk about, Alucard's releases, shit. You know what I mean? The new Helix single that dropped. Any type of question, man, toss it up in there. While we're waiting for that, I got a question for you, Alucard, man. Yo, what's one of your favorite comic books that kind of inspired you to really get involved with this whole shit?
Let's see. I don't know. I bought comics mostly for the art, so I didn't care necessarily for the story. So I like the characters. I used to like Spider-Man, Batman. I like Deadpool before he talked. You know, when he was just silent when they cursed.
Yeah.
I like X-Men. You know, and what was it? I like all the Image guys. All the guys that like left Marvel and tried to do Image, and then like some of them went back. Tom McFarlane, the Rob Liefelds, Jim Lee.
Yeah.
You know,
McFarlane is ill, yo.
They're like, I'm old school. I like those older guys and shit. That I look at comics now. I don't really like the art. That's why I bought comics for. If I don't like the art, I'm not gonna. You know, I read a novel where there's no pictures. I gotta like the pictures.
Nah, I feel you. So let me ask you out individually. What's one of your favorite tracks off of the Alucard Illusions joint?
Me?
If you got, all three of y'all. If you have any specific ones that kind of really hit home for you, kind of stuck out a little more than the other ones.
I always like that.
I like a lot of songs. I like a lot of songs on there.
The Alucard shit.
We can make them better. I like the Alucard shit. We were talking about what was the one we were talking about? That
the Illusions joint. They got y'all.
Checkmate. I like Checkmate. I don't know. I like a lot of my songs.
That's a good answer. I was gonna say, y'all.
Don't be modest, bro.
All of them too. You might like a song one month, and then you're like, yo, I haven't heard this one in a while.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you.
This one maybe better than the other one.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you. I feel you on that. Yo, you got any favorites? You said Shanty.
I like the Alucard shit.
Alucard shit.
That one's always a tough track to me. I think it just hits dope, upbeat, kind of fast-paced track. Yeah, I like it. He just goes in on it. Kind of a cool track. I'm getting like my cat goes crazy when she knows everyone, so she hears the voice.
What's good?
Leave me alone.
Like, where are they though? I hear them.
She makes a cameo every time I do this. She just can't. Once I start talking to the phone, she's trying to walk over and swipe it a couple times. But yeah, the Alucard shit. I like the whole project. I got so many, but it's that Alucard shit is definitely a really good track to me.
Yeah, the album covers are crazy too, man.
Yeah, what the fuck was my favorite? I like a lot of joints, but like this weekend, I've been bumping Checkmate a lot. The Alucard shit, I've been bumping since I first heard it or got it. It's all dope. It's, you know what it is? It's such an ill album because, like you said, like I'll be listening to the same 3 or 4 songs like for 3 or 4 days, and then like I'll jump to the next ones, and then like they just go in my moods. You know what I mean? So I like the whole freaking album, honestly, man. Alucard album is ill, yo. The Illusion shit is ill. It's all ill.
I mean, you can't really
Yeah,
go wrong, man.
I was happy with that project. I was happy with that. Was like the
Word.
project that I was like happy with everything, the art, the sound, the songs, and I was like fucking. I was like, okay, this is like, I didn't feel like I felt like I had time. I felt like the other one was more. The first album was more crunch time. We were like, throwing it together, and this album, I was like, since the first album I learned, so I could be like, okay, let me take my time and I can invest, do some cool art ahead of time. I don't want to rush my art or whatever. It was cool. It worked out.
That's good though. That's definitely good. You get
Yeah,
to enjoy it more.
how'd you figure out uh what's your process when it's time to line the songs up, the song lineup, like, you know what I mean, to put them to sequence all the songs? Do you just like have you know what I mean? Do you have it envisioned already, or do you just like when you finish all the songs, you figure out, all right, this is gonna be the first, second, third, fourth, fifth,
I think we
like
figured it
that?
out at the end. I didn't really pay attention to that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Maybe I had like a few songs that I was like, okay, maybe this one should be later on or this one should be later.
Hmm.
But I went over with ID, so I wouldn't, because sometimes I just arrange songs
Yeah.
and ID has a little bit more input on. He'll be like, nah, this shouldn't be, this doesn't make sense. It'll be,
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
like, yeah,
because
you're right.
because
Now
that
I got
album
second 30
flows.
years. You're fucking, maybe that doesn't go there and shit. But
Yeah, that's it. Because you can listen to that album straight through, and it has a great flow. Like, I pay attention to that shit. That shit can fucking make or fucking kill an album. Honestly,
We
it
put
like
mad
if you
time
really
into that
want to.
process.
Yeah,
We always
yeah. So
we
it's
always put
just
a lot
like,
of thought into that because like you said,
mhm,
you can have the same set of songs in a different
yeah,
order that just don't make sense and turn people off to the whole project,
mhm,
or you could have it placed in a way where it really works and like it has to do with like the energy of the songs, the
yeah,
way that one beat goes into the next one, even the content. You don't want too
yeah,
many upbeat ones back to back and slow ones back to back. You don't want like an interlude to come in after you haven't heard
mhm,
enough content. So there's like a whole kind of formula to how to like place it. And like, yeah, we always put a lot of thought into that process. Like we definitely don't just slap the tracks together like a mixtape. We always kind of see it through and like try to have some cohesiveness. And like Alis's album is dope because it's so thought out that we had each track,
yeah,
it just seamlessly goes. One track doesn't end, it goes into the next track. There's no, if you press start, the whole album will play with no stop. It kind of overlaps. You can hear each track on their own, but there is elements that kind of go through. So the whole scheme of how songs were placed was really important, you know? Yeah, I think that's a big part of the process. And I think a lot of people definitely overlook that because it's easy to be done with the album and be like, all right, cool, we're done. Like, you know, we got the songs. But yeah, I think that's a part of the mastering process, really the placement of the songs, where they go, maybe
mhm,
even further thinking if there's further production, post-production to the album to make it even more interesting, to create a world and, you know, do something with it. But yeah, yeah. Illusions is
yeah,
definitely, there was probably multiple track listings and that was, you know, the final one that we all went with.
the Helix album is off the charts. I got a sneak preview of. I got to hear some of that shit, and I
Yeah,
think I even heard the whole thing played through just to.
you have.
And I was like, that's really special. That's
No
really
doubt.
dope album. The art is amazing too. Shout out to Lizard Pudding.
Yeah,
Um,
huge shout out
yeah,
to Ian Davis. Yeah,
he's
Lizard
put in a
Pudding
lot of
on
work. It is
Instagram.
all fantastic stuff, man. I've
Thank you for
seen
bringing
from
him
the
up. I meant to
beginning.
bring him up.
From the
yeah, yeah.
beginning,
The
that dude is
artwork is
really,
crazy.
I'm glad that he participated and fucking jumped in that. You know what I mean? It's a crazy task but he did it and it's fucking dope. That shit matches the theme and the songs, so it's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
He created this cool thing where he created a world kind of based off of the music we did. But then when we went back, even like what I was saying with like piecing the project together and then like making intros and outros, it was almost like looking at his cover was inspirational to then making the soundscape for the intros and outros. So it's like this crazy dynamic of the art influencing the music and the music influencing the art. So I think it really kind of all worked the way it tied together. And like,
I
yeah,
like that
he's
he
been
had a
incredible.
lot of extra shit too. He had like
So
a lot
much.
of like preliminary drawings and like other leftovers. He had like the Puppet Master looking.
That's sick, yo.
That was
We've got
dope.
hundreds of images. He's done what could be almost like 10 album covers if we want. There's just so much content. He's done some animation, so we're hoping that all of that. Yeah, we got to roll all of that out. All of that needs to see the light of day. Yeah, he's a really talented artist. Yeah, anyone that's checking this out, check out Lizard Pudding on Instagram. He's got all of his art. Really, really dope artist. Very, very.
No doubt, no doubt. Let me ask y'all this question now, since y'all all artists and shit. You feel like you prefer doing EPs or albums? Like, because I know it's kind of hard to really get to the point with a 6-track EP as opposed to a whole album. But which would you guys prefer to do as far as your track listing would go?
You can do EPs, but I think we're like workhorses in the fact that we almost got too much content sometimes. You know, we can make albums, more albums. I don't think we ever come up short. I mean, it may be more of like a fucking meant to do it, you know, like, nah, let's do an EP just to like, you know, make it a short album, but we'll always do more than an EP. We'll probably do an album and just to do an EP. You know what I mean? Because there'll be songs that you don't like by the end of the day, and you'll be like, nah, let's just keep these songs. But you're picking from like 10, 20 songs, you know? That's the way
we don't really do EPs. We always go the distance. EPs pop out. Like, if you're going to do 6 songs, do another 6 songs. Like, you know.
Yeah, right. That's what I was going to say.
Unless
that's what I was going to say.
A vinyl, like you're going to do a 7-inch and it's just for that and that's the project and that's the concept. Otherwise, yeah, do the whole album. I never understood EPs entirely. Like, we've done very minimal. We don't really do EPs as far as
EPs is some real old school shit that broke niggas did because they couldn't afford to record 12 songs.
Word. They couldn't afford the studio time, so they had to cut that shit short.
This is before all of this, where you could record at home, you know what I'm saying? Yo, remember, reels was mad expensive. Yo, niggas couldn't afford to record 4 hours.
Every EP was a broken dream of an LP.
Yeah. Now you got this little dude's Tommy recording like albums out of his fucking basement and putting it out, and like, you know, he's a star, but nobody knows him. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, 6 songs up.
That's what I was saying, yo.
You know, if you're experimenting with a new sound or a new guy that it's not usually the people that you experiment, maybe you might keep it shorter and play it safe, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like,
maybe if it's themed that way, if it's a theme, like a 6-point theme or something, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not into it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not into it. I'm like,
that's why I figured I'd ask, yo.
Yeah. Because you know what I mean? The artist, you want to hear it. You want to hear more, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, cause that should be kind of frustrating me. I ain't gonna front, like, you know what I mean? I appreciate an artist putting out anything, but at the same time, it's like you hit that 6th track, now you gotta rewind it. I'd rather hear a whole another 6 tracks than rewind. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got a long ass drive, like you commuting and shit. You don't have to keep hitting the rewind. You want to fucking go all the way through, then fucking rewind it. You know what I'm saying? Relive the whole shit. You know what I mean? It's like reliving a whole movie. But if you cut that shit short, it's like series by series, episode by episode. It's like, nah, I want the whole shit. Give me it all.
That's just 6 singles that you put out. It ain't even an EP. It's just like, you know what I mean? I almost prefer you to put out singles than put out a 6-song EP. Look, it'll bother me less. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense.
If I cut out, my battery's dead. If I automatically was like, I'm just standing here, like, just fucking close and disappear. It's because I didn't do that purposely. It's because my phone wanted to hang up.
He gonna disappear because of that question. He's like, what the fuck this man asked me? It's about a 6-track EP. I don't do that shit. Word. That shit is crazy. But yo, either way, I don't want to take too much of y'all time, man. I appreciate y'all being on this shit. You know what I mean? We get to chat a little bit and talk about the new shit y'all putting out and the previous shit, because y'all got a lot of shit putting out, yo. But definitely appreciate y'all, man. You know what I mean? Y'all got any shout outs, any further things you guys want to mention?
Nah,
Shout it out.
Appreciate you, Supreme. thanks for doing this platform, having us on here, doing all these interviews. You're working hard too, man. You throw a lot of praise our way, and really appreciate that. But we see you working mad hard and building this platform up and doing these every weekend, and that's a big commitment and taking time to do it. And yeah, we need more people like you within the culture, man. So salute to you, man. Salute to you.
Yes, props to you.
I appreciate y'all. That definitely.
Everyone that's checking out, anyone new that's kind of chiming in, everyone old chiming in, salute to everyone, man.
I definitely appreciate that, man.
I left my charger at the studio. You guys next Friday.
Oh, it's done. It got absorbed by the studio now. It's a part of the studio. New charger going on eBay.
Word. Yo, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be safe. Peace. Yeah, shout out to the brothers, you know what I mean? Jase won out the card, you know what I mean? Share the gallows, man. Definitely appreciate that. Make sure y'all follow all of them, you know what I'm saying? Check out all their content and shit, all the albums. All this shit is on Spotify. Make sure you check out the Creative Juices music website. Buy the fly ass gear. Check out the shirt. You know what I mean? Shit's fly, man. Get that shit. Check out their music. Check out the new Helix release. They should also dropping the album soon. Keep supporting, you know what I mean? Subscribe to the YouTube and shit so you can check all the previous interviews as well. Shout out once again to the sponsors, of course, Creative Juices, man. They hold me down. You know what I mean? Snow Goons, Elite Side International, Blaze Mode Radio, all the family, all the peoples. I hope y'all have